If you're in the market looking for a metal building, you probably clicked on an ad and now you're seeing a flood of high prices, low prices, and you're probably wondering, why does the price of a metal building can change so much? A lot of it comes down to upgrades. And if you stick around, we're breaking it all down. Welcome back, Pack. Ed here from the WolfSteel marketing department. So Pack, let me start off like this. So when you're shopping for a metal building, you're obviously looking online, you're looking at different prices. Even you click on an ad on social media and you get prices that are very high, sometimes even very low. So you start wondering, like, why can the price of a metal building change so much? Is it even safe? Or sometimes you get sticker shock, and that's part of it, right? But again, Pack, you're just simply trying to understand where your money goes. Now again, Pack, this is not gonna be your typical tour. I actually did a different tour for this one where I kind of just showcase of how our client is using that space. So definitely check that video out down in the link. But for this one, this was going to be more of a different style. So again, we're going to be showcasing in the bottom right hand corner, the price of what would it be for a standard building like this one in the industry. On the very left hand side, you're going to be seeing the price for the upgrades that our client got with this building. So again, two buildings can look very, very similar, but the prices can look very, very different as well. So this was a great video, Pack. I cannot wait to show y'all. Definitely sit back, relax, get some knowledge in, and let's get into the tour. Before we dive into the building itself, we gotta start right here, right, with the site, because that part can truly make or break your entire project, Pack. So the biggest enemy of construction is water. Wood rots, steel rusts. So
wood rots, steel rust.
Every time we come out for a site visit, we're always, just asking one question: where's the water gonna go? Those are things we always take into account when we come in and do a site visit, Pack, because again, you do not want any water seeping in to your metal building, because that would not be good. That'd be no bueno. In this case, our clients, site actually different, because every site is different. This one actually dropped around 3 feet, so it wasn't level at all. When clients say that their land is flat, most likely it's not always flat, Pack. If you ask me, 3 feet is a big drop. So what we did here, Pack, is that we incorporated a drain system along with a stem wall, to make up for that elevation change, Pack, because as you can tell from right here, the driveway comes this way and it kind of drops. And so that's what we did, this drain, this French drain is what you call it. So, all that water that is coming this way can be redirected in a way from the building and not seep in through the building. So, and again, we also added the stem wall, that allows us to create, a perfectly level platform for the building without having to move a massive amount of dirt to level out the entire yard. So it kind of, essentially elevates the structure above the natural grade. So just wanted to point that out. So shout out to Willie and our whole concrete team, Miguel as well, that work on our concrete department and do an awesome job. So everyone from the concrete department, thank you so much, for always, striving to be the best at your positions. So, but now, Pack, let's get into the building. So again, Pack, what we have here is a 30 by 40 tubular metal building sitting at 10 feet in height with the 412 roof pitch, which is an upgrade from our standard 312 roof pitch. So one thing I wanted to point out, Pack, is that, going with the higher roof pitch honestly really does help in many ways. So a few reasons is that the higher roof pitch, the better the water that runs off, obviously. So even snow, it can just come off very, very easier. But also, if you're thinking, adding a lift or even a mezzanine, you still have good clearance, from the ceiling to add those, and plus it does give your building a whole different aesthetic than going with, the standard 312 roof pitch. Even just driving up here, I could see this was our client's metal building, because not just from the colors, but the 412 roof pitch, it stands out from the rest of his neighbors. It's a beautiful building. And actually, they've been getting a lot of requests lately of who did the building, can they check it out? So that's the WolfSteel impact here in Nacogdoches, Texas. But anyways, Pack, let's keep going. So this building here was built with 14 gauge galvanized squirt tubing. The client did also upgrade the 26 gauge panel, so you're obviously getting more stronger and durable panel. Usually you see Adbo hitting the wall, so man, it's very sturdy, especially when it has spray foam. More durable exterior compared to the standard 29 gauge panels. That's your typical rib panel you see most residential buildings in the industry. Super common, gets the job done. It's cost effective as well, but the biggest difference here comes down to strength. And that's because, you know, the lower the gauge, the thicker the steel. So 26 gauge panels are thicker and stronger than 29 gauge. In fact, you're looking roughly around 25% increase in just thickness. Having the, you know, the lower gauge metal panels, so the 26 gauge, are gonna be able to withstand more of those, you know, those crazy storms, crazy hail that we get here in Texas. Now, this is a single leg. Like I mentioned, this is 10 feet high. So remember that, you know, anything under that 12-foot height, you get that single leg, while 13 and 14 feet will get that double leg, and anything above 15 will get that ladder leg style. So Pac, let's work on this side, because one thing I wanted to touch on is the paneling. So that's when you can really start seeing the differences in performance and pricing. So our client decided here to go with vertical panels. So on our standard tubular metal buildings, you typically see horizontal panels, which are a great cost-effective option, and you know, it gets the job done. It looks great. But however, you know, our client wanted a cleaner look. You know, he wanted to go with vertical panels. Not only does it give the building a more modern just appearance, but it also helps, you know, with that water runoff more efficiently, following the ribs straight down. So instead of, you know, having the horizontal panels going side to side, here we have the vertical panels going up and down, and man, they look gorgeous. And plus, you know, as you can see, our client Rick opted in, you know, with going with the adding the wainscot at the bottom as well. And so he introduced that second color, so it just gives it a whole different contrast. So when you add that wainscot as well, you know, it also helps, you know, with dirt or mud that you get in those metal panels at the bottom. So this kind of helps it with that. And here's something most people don't realize: if when you do horizontal panels, there typically isn't a charge when it comes to doing the wainscot itself. That's because the way the ribs overlap, we can simply transition from one panel color to another. But however, our client, since he got the vertical panels, this is where things obviously change, because with the vertical paneling, we have to install, you know, the Z trim that you see here, and also add additional framing members or girt to support the panels. And obviously there's more labor involved, because, you know, there's more cutting, there's more fitting, and obviously a little bit more pricier. But I mean, overall, I don't know about y'all, Pac, but this one looks freaking badass. So lastly, Pac, before we go inside, you know, our client also opted in for the black gutters and downspouts. And honestly, Pac, it's just one of those details that just really finished the whole book. So most people look at gutters and think they're just there to catch water, right? But how they're installed are just as important. So one thing we do a little different here at WolfSteel is that how we support our gutter system. So in a lot of cases throughout the industry, you'll see gutters, you know, attached directly to the trim. And the challenge of that is that the trim isn't really true structural framing. So when you think about it, you know, water is heavy. You know, during a good, you know, Texas rainstorm, those gutters can be holding a significant amount of weight over time. You know, the weight can, you know, cause the screws to loosen up, the gutters to even sag sometimes, or even pull away from the building. So what we do here differently at WolfSteel, Pac, is that we install an 18 gauge framing member along the eave of the building. Again, Pac, this gives you a solid structural attachment point for the gutters instead of, you know, relying solely on being attached to the trim. So it's more stronger, more secure gutter system that, you know, that's designed to hold up better over the long run, while, you know, just continuing to do its job, directing the water away from the building and foundation. Also up top, client also got the leaf gutters. He is surrounded with a couple trees. So in those leaf gutters, what they're going to do is basically help prevent your gutters from clogging up, especially during the fall, like I mentioned. Or in the winter, you know, you get those debris and stuff like that in the gutters, and it's very hard to clean those. It's a hassle. So our client added those leaf gutters as well. So he wanted to, you know, keep it less maintenance when it comes to, you know, just keeping your building free from headaches, right? Moving into the, you know, the windows and the doors, our client went with 4 30 by 53 double pane windows, bringing in, you know, natural light as well, because sometimes metal buildings can feel boxed, can feel like feel like you're enclosed. But adding those windows, you know, gives you plenty of light inside, natural light that you can, you know, without having to turn the lights on, you can still see from the outside and bring in that natural light. Our client also opted in for the 16 by 8 insulated overhead door, and it's just a badass door, Pac. But one things you'll notice on the overhead doors, Pac, is that, you know, there's weather stripping here, as you can see, all the way around the door. So that helps seal everything up and tight, and you're not gonna get that air coming out from the building. Overall, just making your building more efficient. But enough of the outside, Pac. I'm ready to showcase what's in the inside and how certain upgrades can really still affect your pricing and
We get it. Starting a new metal building project can feel overwhelming with concrete here, insulation there, permits somewhere else. At WolfSteel, we can take that headache away. From site prep to the last screw, we bring every service under one roof here in Texas for Texans, so you can have your metal building without the stress. We handle tubular buildings, red iron weld up and bolt up buildings, permitting assistance, full concrete slabs with site prep, plus any demolition if needed. Concrete coating options, various insulation options, a gutter system for your building, custom doors, windows, and even cedar accents if you want a more rustic look. You need more, like mezzanines, balconies, or masonry, we got that too. We do not service outside of our service area, nor provide material or kits only, and our services do not stand alone. We focus on full turnkey Texas metal building projects. WolfSteel is the easy choice. Texans, we've got you covered. If you fall within the service area, contact us today. If not, I hope our channel is helpful for your metal building project.
Alrighty, Pack. Now stepping inside, this is where things really, start coming together. So one thing you're gonna notice, Pack, spray foam. Our client decided to go with, the ice gray finish, which, again, really helps, gives the building a clean, finished appearance. Usually when it comes to standard spray foam, it's like in a yellow mustard color, but our client decided for us to paint over it as well. So he went with that color ice gray, and it looks gorgeous. So now something I wanted to point out is the color itself, right? When we first installed the spray foam, it's yellow, and we have to come back to, so it can fully cure, to come back and paint over it. We apply the color, whatever choosing that you want. We have different colors, Pack, so I highly recommend watching a video where we kind of went over the different colors and if it's the right fit for you. We have like, I believe, ice gray, white, and black. Personally, I freaking love ice gray. It looks freaking fantastic. White can get kind of dirty, sometimes very easy, while ice gray you can still work in here and you won't have to really worry about, getting your spray foam dirty or anything like that, because it's very hard to notice it sometimes compared to white. That's just my opinion, Pack. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Polyurea. As you can tell, I love the Polyurea here. So again, this is what makes, the space feel very completely different. It looks fantastic, by the way, and it really just makes this whole building just different. Just makes this building stand out. So again, if you haven't seen the full video of our different coating options that we offer, I definitely recommend checking that out, Pack. But in this case, our client went with, the one-back flake system. So we have very, very different color options and different flake systems that you can go with. So again, it ties in together with all the gray and the Peter gray with the black trim, the accents, the ice gray spray foam. Because you can see here, you can kind of see like the gray and the black, the white. Looks badass. I'm a huge fan of it. So one thing about Polyurea, again, it's not just looks. It actually solves a lot of problems that you actually see standard in the concrete industry, or even when it comes to, even epoxy as well. So the easiest way to really think about it is, it's the epoxy on steroids. It's tougher, it's more flexible, it's built to handle the real use. And also one of the biggest advantages is that it's really UV stable, so you don't have to really worry about the Polyurea yellowing over time. And also epoxy can also crack compared to Polyurea, where it's more durable. If your concrete moves, if your site moves and stuff like that, your Polyurea moves with it as well. It's more flexible. So instead of working against your slab, the Polyurea really works with your slab, so it does an awesome job. So, and on top of that, it does really good in the hot conditions and the cold conditions. Anything you really spill on it will just be a very easy cleanup. We actually did a tour, I believe, a couple weeks ago, me and our dentist, where we kind of talked about the Polyurea as well. And that one was, I believe, a waxing color, so a little bit different than this one. But man, I just love it. Like you can just feel the Polyurea. It just feels very, very nice. So you can walk barefoot here and you'll be perfectly fine. Your kids drop Kool-Aid, you drop some oil, maybe your truck is leaking, but not Tacomas, because I heard Tacomas are the most durable trucks out there. But I don't know, that's just me, Pack. It's my opinion. So for all your taco lovers, I hope you're with me on that one. But yeah, so if you spill anything, oil, anything like that, or your boat starts leaking oil, it's an easy cleanup, Pack. So nothing really to worry about. So yeah, again, Pack, if you're in the industry and are looking at quotes, ask yourself, how's your metal building getting done? What are those add-ons? Because at the end of the day, that's something that you want to add on to your building and see if it makes a difference for you. But certain upgrades, certain add-ons can really change the overall look and the price of your metal building. Well, there you have it, Pack. I hope you enjoyed this awesome video. I hope you got to understand, the different comparisons of what you can expect when it comes to prices and certain upgrades, and how that ultimately can, just affect your final price at the very end. I hope you enjoyed this video, Pack. It was so much fun getting to tour this one. If you have not checked out the original tour, where I just kind of tour around and see how our clients using the space.
Pack, I hope this video gave you some good insights, some good takeaways, that not all metal buildings are one size fit all. We always take your vision into consideration, your property, the different goals that you have in mind. Our goal is to guide you and your priority. If you're looking for the most cost-effective building, a little bit more custom building, it all depends on how you're going to use the building and that space. There is absolutely no wrong answer. That's why here at WolfSteel Buildings, we don't believe in selling everyone the exact same building. We take our time to understand what you're using the building for, and of course, what features are important to you, and also respect your budget. Give us a call and our sales team can guide you on what's standard in the industry, or if you're looking for something a little more custom for you, like overhead doors because you like the convenience of the automatic opener, maybe spray foam because you're planning on HVAC in the building, you're going to spend a lot of time in the building, or perhaps gutters because you want to protect your foundation from erosion over time, or maybe you want polyurea because you're going to be working on cars and you want to protect your foundation against spillage. Again, not one project is the same. So if you're in the market for a metal building and you are in the service area here in Texas, give us a call and allow us to earn your trust and business and make this happen for you.
Pack, it's our favorite time of the video where we announce our giveaway winner. If you missed out on the question from our previous video, that question was, since we are in Nacogdoches, Texas, and World Cup season is already under the way, so for those sports fanatics that are watching the World Cup, there's a special player that's already retired that came from the city of Nacogdoches, Texas. He used to play, I'm gonna just give you one hint, he used to play for the U.S. men's national team. So we had 4 lucky participants drop it in time before the cutoff, which was on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. And now it's your time, and you get to win either a Yeti cup, a WolfSteel flag, or one of these badass hats that we just got in. Man, they're freaking awesome. These are the WolfSteel hats that dropped. So you could be winning one of these, and it's the spin the wheel. Let's spin it. Let's spin the wheel and see who won. Drum roll please. Here we go. So David Gleason 434, I'm saying your name correctly. Make sure you send us your information and we'll be reaching out to you as well. Again, congratulations to David Gleason and to everyone who participated. Thank you so much for participating. We love when our viewers interact with us, participate in our giveaways. We have plenty more giveaways coming up soon, Pack, so definitely stay in the loop for those giveaways. Do not miss them because you could be winning one of these badass hats or a Yeti cup or a flag. So again, thank you so much for everyone participated, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go.
What's up, Pack? Remember to stay up to date with everything that we're up to by checking out our social media. You can find us at WolfSteel Buildings for behind the scenes action. We share our latest projects, update on what the team is working on, and all the exciting progress happening in real time. Don't miss out on the action, and remember to give us a follow.